We down in the Knicks right now, but let's reminisce on the glory days a little bit. So like we teased at the start of the show, I had the great opportunity to interview Walt, Clyde, Frazier at Greats of the Game Collectibles in Broadway Mall yesterday afternoon. Gino was with me holding it down.
Yes, I was.
Man, I asked this man about everything from his upbringing to how he feels about the team now to the Willis Reed, the 70-73 championships. Let's go ahead and hear that Walt, Clyde, Frazier interview from yesterday at Broadway Mall. How you been, Walt? How's everything hanging?
Oh, I'm doing good. Hanging in there. Happy to be here today. Thanks for you guys for coming out. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's an honor and a privilege. So, obviously, you walk into any building, you know, Knicks fans are going to know you, and it's like they revere you. So, how does it feel to be so beloved by Knicks fans to this day? And what do you think it says about New York sports with their being so passionate when it comes to being a championship, winning a championship in the city, being a champion? What does that say that if you get that done, you're him here forever?
Yeah, it's a real revelation when you think that we're going to be commemorated in 1973 team, right? 50 years. We're talking about 50 years. People are still talking about that team, the players, those moments. Whenever I travel to Miami, Atlanta, all the different cities, the Knicks fans always come up thanking me for the championships and what I've done. So it's very humbling, and it's a New York thing. No other city has that. They're not doing that in L.A. They're not doing it in Boston. Obviously, the Knicks fans are the most knowledgeable, the most provocative, the most loyal, the most adoring fans there are. So they're the best in the world.
Absolutely. And obviously many know of your great accolades at the pro level. Obviously we just said you won 2 championships with the Knicks. But what can you say about your upbringing? Obviously you're from Atlanta. You went to Southern Illinois. You're the rare nowadays 4-year college athlete at Southern Illinois. Had your number retired there. What can you say you picked up during your formative years that kind of have led to your success now?
Easily. My formative years, I was raised by the village. Parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, my coaches, my teachers, everybody had a tremendous impact on my being a successful person today. We just talked about the legend of Martin Luther King. My parents and grandparents obviously admired and adored him. He gave us hope. And a lot of their teachings they instilled in me, like the way I dress. When I was growing up, when I went downtown, you had to wear your best clothes. You put on your best manners, man. Not only representing the Frazier family, but black people as well. My vocabulary, the same thing. I'm setting an example for black people, man. You can do it. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. The same on the court. You got to give 100%. 99.5 won't do. So all of these things I grew up with, and being the oldest of 9 kids as well, always sharing and caring. And, I still hold a Knick record for assists. I hate Patrick Ewing. He broke out.
It's funny. I was just thinking that, you set so many Knicks records, but Patrick Ewing came along, but he's never going to get the assists. I don't think anybody's stopping him.
Yeah, the assists might last for a while. Brunson, maybe. He might have a shot, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you brought up the 1970s. Obviously, you went to 3 finals in that time. Obviously, the championships, 1970, that legendary Game 7. 1973, 2 against the Lakers. But what else can you say stands out to you about your Knick run in the 70s to this day?
Team. We personified team. Because you can't mention Frazier without Bradley, DeBusschere, Reed, Barnett. And, man, we still are a very close-knit team. We always do Zoom calls now. Around Christmas time, Senator Bradley gets us together. So there's a camaraderie there. Look at these rings. I wear them every day, man. Symbolic of a perfect season. Everything has to go right. And the 70 team was definitely, like I say, a team-oriented. The 73 team was more talented. We had Earl, we had Jerry Lucas, but there's nothing like the first one. And the way the Willis Reed game and the way everything evolved, and that's why it's so memorable as well.
Can you take me inside that Willis Reed moment? Because we were talking to some of the people here, how momentous that must have been to see him injured walk through the tunnel. Did it kind of light a fire under the whole team, we got to get this one?
Okay, remember, there's no social media. So I was calling around to try to see if Willis would play. Nobody knew. So when I got to the game, he was in a training room. But Holtzman ran us out saying, whether Willis play or not, you guys have to go get ready mentally to play the game. So a lot of people thought it was premeditated, that we knew he was coming. we were just as flabbergasted as everybody else when he came on the court. But I'll never forget 3 of the greatest players, Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. They just stopped and they were staring at Willis. And I said to myself, man, we got these guys. You know. And then Willis would come out and make his first 2 shots. I go, there's nothing wrong with this guy. But then the die was cast because the fans made us believe we could do anything. And obviously I had the game of my life at 36 points, 19 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 steals. I sold hot dogs at halftime.
Did everything. Man, great career as a player, like you just said, but you also just got honored by the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, the Kurt Gowdy Award. So they recognize you for your remarkable work as a color commentator for MSG Networks and the New York Knicks. Congratulations, first off. And you know, many people see the finished product and obviously your vocabulary. You got styling, profiling, posting and toasting, all that. But what can you tell me about the process and how you worked your way up to be such a great broadcaster? Well,
the process started, like you mentioned, Atlanta, Georgia. People instilled in me, if I wanted to do something, you got to give 100%. You have to have a plan, a tenacious work ethic, and if you do that, nothing can stop you. So when I started in radio, I used to work with Jim Carvalho. So Jim was a guy who used to working by himself, so he would never let me say anything. I'd be saying something, he'd go, "Excuse me, Walt." So I knew sometime he had to catch his breath, and whatever the team was doing, I go, "They're dishing and swishing." They're pounding and astounding, They're ubiquitous. So it was a necessity in order for me to do something that I improve my vocabulary. So that's how it all started. And then when I got a chance to work with Mike, he admired me as a player and respected me. He just told me, "Clyde, no, man, just do your thing. Whatever people want to hear what you have to say." So we developed that chemistry, and ironically, we were both in the Hall of Fame. But I never saw that coming. Mike was inducted last year, a couple of years, and I was thinking about how nice it would be, but I never won any accolades as being a color commentator. I've never worked nationally, so I never really saw it coming. I was really so shocked and surprised when it happened.
Just goes to show you, your work is incredible. Knicks fans appreciate it. The whole world appreciates it. The whole basketball world. But what are your thoughts on this year's Knicks squad? So obviously, I've said we have we've said on Sports Talk, our show, that Jalen Brunson's the best Knicks point guard since obviously you. I've said that. That's the opinion I hold. Yeah, I know some would disagree. Stephon, Mark Jackson, Mark debate. But what impact do you think Jalen's had on the team, and what other aspects of the team stand out to you?
Well, he's given us an orchestrator, a guy that can keep the team together, especially down the stretch in key moments. He rarely turns the ball over. He can penetrate. He's unselfish. So I didn't really know what to expect, but he has exceeded my expectations, what he's been able to accomplish. And he should be an all-star this year. I think he's very deserving of that. And, he's on the biggest stage, the first time, so he should only get better from here.
Absolutely. Hey, Walt, I could spend all day with you, but I've got to let you go. Once again, the great Walt Clyde Frazier here at Greats of the Game Collectibles inside Broadway Mall in Hicksville, New York. Thank you once again, Clyde.
Thank you, and good luck on your career as well.